Hi everybody and welcome to this International Party 9-hole cup walkthrough for Pro and Expert division. So we're going to look at replays for all 9 holes from the middle tee. Before we get started, please do hit thumbs up on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are rapidly closing in on 15,000 subs. If you're playing rookie, check out the separate video as well. There will be references to Academy tutorials in this video for things like min, mid and max, club references and slider values. Please do check out the link on the channel homepage for tips to improve your gameplay. If you are playing Pro and Expert, I will be streaming this Thursday at the start of the tournament for Pro and Expert first look at the wins. So do join me, 8 AM UK time, that is Thursday morning. Adjustments and replays coming up for all 9 holes. We have a nice mix of holes from across 3 courses here. So let's get started with hole number 1. Very long par 4 here. We're going to be playing with the sniper for our second shot. But first let's look at the drive. Playing with the extra mile here and a Titan ball. We will need power 3 for the second shot. Just over 4 bars top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right. I'm setting up here with level 8 at top of the red ring, touching the rough at +4. Because we're not quite at max distance, I play this one maximum distance with 5% elevation. Then we are going to take our shot, going with outer wall curl to the right, just to cut a bit of the corner. Perfect ball away, bounce over the rough and the bunker, and just approach the rough here on the far side. Don't need to push it too hard, we're still going to have a good line for the second shot, which is of course going to be played with the sniper. So here I tend to leave the target where it is here and just play a no movement target for the second shot. Find it works quite well. Obviously need to adapt spins based on the wind angle we have. As we do have tailwind here, I'm going to leave the ball guide short of pin to account for the extra wind push. So just over 3 bars of backspin, a little click of side spin here. Adjustment I go with here is medium distance, 10% elevation, but this second shot is tricky, and depending what wind angle you have, you will need to do a bit of trial and error if you've got a practice token to spare or more than one account. Obviously in crosswind you will need more adjustment here, but I'm playing mid +10 on this occasion. We are in plus yardages here, so we could use that as a reference as well. Coming in with a nice speed, but just missing to the right hand side. And we're going with a Titan and sniper level 10. Bear in mind, if you do have slight headwind angle here, this is sniper level 10 only. You would have to use power 4 ball if you've got sniper level 9. We're going for the rough bumps, setting up at max with a power 3 ball. 2 top spin and just over 1 bar of side spin to the right. Adjustment here, max numbers, 15% elevation. Max +15. I do an intentional 1201 pull. You see we go into overpower ever so slightly, so I'm just going to touch the bottom teeth with the bottom of the ball there for overpower so we don't lose distance. Perfect ball away, and we hit the rough very nicely, and this one does just in there for a beautiful hole in 1 on this par 3. Now for this par 5 we do have a crosswind angle to show you here. Going with a Titan, I would recommend Titan or a Kingmaker. This is a long hole. We need to make sure we can reach for the second shot. Playing with a driver that gives me slightly more than 4.5 topspin would be preferred here. We do want to get some distance. Can either play this side of the trees or we can play on the left as well. But here I'm choosing to go for the right hand side of that little rough patch in the middle. Adjustment here, max distance, 10% elevation. Do have a little bit of headwind angle here, so I'm applying a baby amount of overpower just to reflect what I did adjust into. We do hit a minor great right unfortunately, but Thor's Hammer 5 still going to be absolutely fine, and we will find the fairway very nicely and just rolls out of the shadow. Drive distance here being 367 yards. Second shot, best chance for an albatross does come with the rough bump here, and there is a decent enough patch of rough to aim at. This shot we will need to change elevation depending on the wind angle that we do get, and here I'm using plus yardage as a reference. That is a good thing we can use to determine slider percentage. If you want to know more about plus yardages and slider values, check out the Academy tutorial playlist on the channel homepage. Apply spin, get the ball guide to the hole. In the video here I go with 86% slider, 10% elevation, which is very close to true club distance. However, this one is over adjusted, so we did need to really either reduce the slider value that we're playing with here or reduce the elevation slightly. As you can see, we do hit the rough nicely, but jigging to the right hand side. Important to grab an eagle on this par 4 if we can. Video here, I'm actually playing with the Apocalypse level 2. Obviously if you have a higher level Apocalypse, it's going to be even easier, but if you just have level 2, then this is going to work really well indeed. Red ring touching the rough with this club level, not the same for all other club levels of course, and we're going to go with top spin and side spin to the right. We do need curl here, max plus 10 on the adjustment, going with full curl with the APOC 2. Obviously different APOC levels will have different amount of curl and also more topspin available, but we want to bounce before the bunker and then with the right curl and the right spin roll down the fairway. If you have more topspin available, you will of course get closer to the green, but 360 yards plus is going to be fine. Second shot going to be played with the thorn, and here I like the bounce to be on the fringe. Gives us a very nice consistent bounce here, so that's where I'm going to set up. And then we're going to just apply spin as needed. Here I am going with a little bit of backspin. We do have some tailwind as well, so it's important just to leave that ball guide a little bit short of the pin to account for the tailwind push. Adjustment here, I would estimate your true club distance as best you can, so find min and find max, and then play with 10% elevation. That will be my general rule on this one. So here we were in between mid and maximum distance of our club, plus 10. We can do a pin check to check distance as well, but that rolls beautifully right at pin for an eagle. Going with the rock again for the accuracy, 3.5 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right. Don't need a kingmaker here because we can go with curl, which is good with the rock. So there's my setup, plus 1 yard, half of the blue ring in the rough. However, I would tweak this one and just go half a ring more. So blue ring touching the rough. You will see on the first bounce we are a little bit close here. Mid plus 10, the adjustment, mid distance plus 10. If we are going to set up with the blue ring touching the rough, I will go with a little bit more curl to the right just to compensate. Perfect ball, and this one does bounce quite close to the rough, but like I say, with that tweak, a bit more curl, more to the left, you'll be absolutely fine. So mid plus 10. And from here, with the sniper, going to go with a no spin approach. And so we just got to find our position. So no top spin, no back spin, definitely no side spin. Leave the ball guide a fraction short of the pin, and then here I'm going to use plus yardage again to get my adjustment. So we see it's plus 6 with a sniper level 10. I'm playing this one 90% slider, plus 5 elevation. Obviously if you have sniper 9, you're going to have to alter that because your plus yardage will be a little bit different because your club is shorter. So just bear that in mind. But here plus 6 with the sniper 10, 90% slider, 5% elevation. And again, we're going to get more of a roll than we think, but it comes in beautifully right at the pin. Drops for an albatross. On this par 3, rough bump is absolutely the best way to go for the hole in one. Using a navigator here to cut down the wind. Obviously, if you're playing up in expert, I would recommend going with a kingmaker. We don't want to have too much wind to deal with here. And we want the bullseye to be in the middle of that rough patch there between the sand and the fairway. Here in the video I'm going max plus 10. However, the adjustments will vary depending what wind angle we have. Sometimes we can play this one mid plus 20. Things like level crosswind is a nice easy adjustment. because we're not dropping down into the water or going up onto the green. Sometimes you do need to add a little pull angle here as well. This one just needed a little bit of a tweak, but look at that, we take a 360 and out on this par 3, but the rough bump is the way to go. So, playing with Katana and the extra mile, 4.5 bars topspin, 3 bars side spin to the left. Red ring touching the rough on the left at +9 with the extra mile level 8. Obviously that's going to be +11 with the extra mile level 6 or 7. Then we're going to adjust max distance, 20% elevation. Does take us a little bit into overpower, so I'm going to use some overpower, but not too much. But I'm going to go with half a ball of curl to the left. Hitting perfect here, and this ball will bounce over very nicely, avoiding all the bunkers, and we want to be looking for a drive distance of around 350 yards. Which we do get exactly 350, so second shot here is going to be played with the thorn. And again, we do have wind with headwind as well. So 1 bar of backspin is what I'm going to do here, and as you could see I was checking distance using a pin check there. Bullseye right over the pin, and that came up with +2 yards there for the pin check. And I'm playing here with 1 bar of backspin, ball guide to the pin, and here I'm playing 68% slider, 10% elevation. So 68% slider, 10% elevation. Don't forget, if you don't know enough about the slider or min, mid and max distance of club, check out the Academy tutorial playlist on the channel homepage. Perfect away, and this is going to have a very, very good chance of getting in the hole, which we do right at pin for a lovely eagle on this par 4. Now for this wind angle, I'm going to go with the quarterback because we do have some headwind. In tailwind we can play with the sniper, or of course you can bounce over with the sniper from the fairway on the right hand side of the screen. But here we do have cross headwind, so I'm going to go with the quarterback, and we're going with just over 2 bars of backspin and a little bit of side spin to the right, 1 bar of right spin. Ball guide to the hole, and we're aiming nicely in the middle of the rough. We're not going to threaten the sand or the fairway with a single great left or a single great right. Adjustment here, minimum distance, 0 elevation with the quarterback. Obviously if you're playing sniper, you'll be playing max numbers and probably with a bit more elevation as well, depending what wind angle you have. Bounces in the rough very nicely and tracks beautifully straight at the pin for a hole in one. Two options to show you on this par 5, and we do have a nasty wind angle here, so we cannot really send it with a berserker. Not going to achieve anything at all. So we're going to show you the layup route instead. On the drive, we just want to get it right down the middle of the fairway. It doesn't matter about the distance, but just get safely to the middle. In the end, I'm playing with the drive with 6 bars of topspin and then 1 bar side spin to the right. Just aim straight down the middle. Adjustment here, max +10. I am backing up my target from max, so I'm not adjusting too much into overpower. And I just apply a couple of rings here. I don't need to go full blast because we are then going to lay up further to the right of the fairway for our second shot to get an eagle from distance with the Grizzly. Great right, doesn't really matter though with this club. We have a wide fairway to aim at here, and we do find a nice open space, 360 yards. Second shot, we just want to transport the ball to the end of this fairway. So the sniper is the club for you because of the ball guide and the excellent accuracy. So just add your spin, bounce in the middle of the fairway. You could play it higher up with backspin if you wanted, but I'm going mid-distance of club here and adjusting medium distance with 0 elevation. So mid +0 here, perfect ball away because the shot is fairly flat, and we're just going to bounce nicely and roll up towards the rough. And that's the beauty of using the sniper. We don't need to guess the ball guide. Final shot, very good chance for an eagle if you do have this awkward wind angle to deal with on this hole. We're going to use the Grizzly. Two options here. You could play finding I do here, min and max, and then estimating club distance, or you could even play rings from min if you want to count up from rings from min. If that's a new concept for you, please check out the Academy tutorial playlist. Great tutorials up there. And rings from min, learning that method will really improve your tour play and your tournament play. Going for the rough bump then, and mixing and matching the spins so we find a nice patch in the rough and we get the ball guide going just through the hole, and that's important because we do have a slight headwind angle. Here I am playing true club distance, 0 elevation, so I'm setting my slider to where I think my first bounce is between min and max distance of my club. Perfect ball away, and if you can grab an eagle in this awkward wind angle, it's going to be very nice indeed. Tracking beautifully and dropping for an eagle. Now if we do have tailwind, then here comes the tailwind option, otherwise known as a send it option. Get a berserker on and the drive, which gives you and topspin. In my case here, at the time of recording, this was Thor's Hammer level 5. Max topspin, and then again we're going to just aim straight down the middle of the fairway. Stretching out just to check my aim, then we are going to adjust maximum distance, 10% elevation. Once we've done that, we are then going to push back up to max. Then time to take our shot, going full overpower, and again with the club I'm using here, I can get away with a great ball to the right as well as the left. Minor great's going to be fine with the Thor's Hammer. Obviously, extra mile topper particularly, you may be a little bit concerned, which is why I would go distance plus topspin. But bear in mind, if you have a choice of a driver with more accuracy, go with that as well. We want to be down over 405, 410 yards. And for the second shot, I've got the Guardian here because it gives me a little bit of extra distance at level 8. But if you don't have the Guardian level 8, then I would play with the Big Dog or the Cataclysm. We just want a couple of bars of topspin, 2 bars side spin to the right, and then we want to just aim the ball guide down the middle of that narrow patch of fairway. Bear in mind, great ball to the left or right may end up in the rough if you're using a wood club with less accuracy. But here I'm going max distance, 10% elevation, as with this first shot as well, playing with power 5 settings because we are using a power 5 ball. A little bit of curl to the right, but don't push it too far, because if you do hit a great right, the curl will definitely take you into the rough or the sand. So we're just going to bounce very nicely there, looking at the ball, right down the middle of the fairway, catching a slope towards the back of the green, and we'll roll beautifully for a very easy putt for the eagle with that wind angle.